Hello and finally welcome back to my YouTube channel Book 13. So after a long time, I think more than 3 months we are back again, and this time we're reviewing the final book in the Harry Potter series, that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I know it has been a long time. I've been a little busy, and I'm currently a 10th grader. We had exams last month and had other stuff to study as well. But the important thing is that we are doing the review right now, so I'm not keeping it late. Let's go to the video. Now at the starting of the Half-Blood Prince review, I told that the book was unique because it takes place from a starts off from a different perspective other than Harry's, and I was wrong, and I take it back. This book too obviously starts off with a different perspective. You really can't tell from whom perspective J.K. Rowling wrote this, because it's just stated that two men appeared out of nowhere, and obviously the two men were Severus Snape and a new character called Animal Yaxley, who works for the Ministry and is a Death Eater we've never heard of. So I take it back. But this book has a very different start, and in the Malfoy Manor as well, setting into the dark theme of this book, introducing Voldemort and really telling his evil and saying that this is going to be the dark book. This is the ultimate finale. Now I had spoiled the Half-Blood Prince because its climax and third act was so intense, and it totally took that book into another sort of level. This book is the same too, so I am going to spoil it, since this is the ultimate end. This is where all the character arcs and everything taken from the first book onward end. This is the ultimate end. Viewer of the channel and that friend of mine had asked me whether I'd do the Cursed Child review right after this. My answer, maybe I will do the Cursed Child review once, maybe after the tier list video and a couple of Dan Brown books, but not right now, as I do not see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child as a canon part to this universe. So personally, I would take it as an insult to do Harry Potter and the Cursed Child right after this book. So they cannot be mentioned in the same breath as well. This is the ultimate ending. So before we go to off topic, I am going to spoil the book. So if you are watching this video and have not read the book, which is highly unlikely, and if you are doing that, I highly recommend you to click away or replay to the end so that marks as a view. But I am going to spoil it. Please, you can click away if you want. Yes, in the end, Harry Potter kills Lord Voldemort or Tom Riddle. It was the inevitable endings. Like, I would think fans would be protesting if the reverse happened, and this was like, some things need cliche. Even some series have to end in a cliche, but Harry Potter does not do the obvious cliche, but Harry had to kill Voldemort. And I think the last 40 to 50 pages are such carefully crafted. I've never seen a series end like this, especially the parts from the chapter Battle of Hogwarts to the end of the epilogue. I think it's one of the best written and most emotionally written parts in world literature. And the thing is, Harry Potter is a magical series. It's not a normal series. A normal series can end in a normal way, but a magical series cannot. So fans will be protesting all over the world if this ended in a normal way, and J.K. Rowling has had that. J.K. Rowling ended the series in a magical way. The Deathly Hallows is a near perfect end to a near perfect series. Also, another part that hooks me into this book every time I read is the fact that this book is loaded with symbolism, and that's maybe the fact that kids who have rapidly started reading from the Philosopher's Stone find it a little bit difficult to understand the symbolism and everything behind this book. This book is loaded with symbolism. I'm just stating an example. In the first page, the first 2 pages itself, when Snape and Yaxley enter the Malfoy Manor, which is described to be dark and gloomy, and they see a peacock a white peacock. It reminds us that even in dark times, light exists, and kindness exists in even the evilest or the toughest of hearts. And it instantly reminded me of the yin and yang thing. I think in the like black part of the yin and yang, you see a white dot, and it instantly reminded me of that. I don't know the screen. I'll show it in the screen right here. And so it's perfect symbolism, and the good thing about the symbolism in here is that you can interpret it in any way you want. I had not noticed this thing since my last reread. So you can interpret it any way you want. This might not be even true, but you know, every fan has their own emotion, and this helps them take this book to another level, and this helps them read Harry Potter again and again. The symbolism does not end here though, as this is not my own theory. I did not find this on my own, but I've seen many theories and a video, especially Seamus Gorman, shout out to him, saying that Hedwig's death actually foreshadows the breaking of the trace that was put on Harry by the Ministry of Magic. And I think it's a brilliant theory. Harry's trace breaks right when he is not living with his mother's relatives or when he turns 70. He's not living in his mother's relative, and right after he steps out in Hagrid's motorbike, and Hedwig dies. And this is a brilliant theory. In another example of symbolism, again, this is not my own. I've found several videos and theories suggesting this. Says that every creature the Golden Trio had faced from year 1, 2 and 3 were present in the Battle of Hogwarts while they were trying to run from the Great Hall to the Shrieking Shack. That is to listen to Snape and Voldemort to kill Nagini and acquire the final Horcrux. And namely the mountain troll they faced in the Philosopher's Stone, the giant spiders in the Chamber of Secrets, and the Dementors in the Prisoner of Azkaban. And the best thing is that this endeavor and overcoming these creatures only took like if you read with the common sense, you can understand it takes less than 10 minutes for the trio. And while it was a major highlights in the previous books, and this really shows us that how J.K. Rowling and the Golden Trio have evolved from the first book in 1997, 1991 in the books. I really like that. Okay, so enough of symbolism, I guess, and we're moving on to another trait. Another trait of the book that always hooks me on when I'm reading this again. It's the detailing and the way of writing that J.K. Rowling has written this book. Personally, I'm more fond of the writing shown in like The Prisoner of Azkaban or The Goblet of Fire. But this book delivers all the emotion and writing and all of this stuff when needed. Other than The Goblet of Fire is just intense oncoming of detailing and intense writing style. But this book delivers it when we're needed. So that's maybe the reason why I feel more for the Harry in Deathly Hallows than the Harry in, say, Goblet of Fire. And yeah, obviously J.K. Rowling was more mature and more experienced while writing this book, and this has shown in my guess. And this was while reading this book for the review. It's my 7th or 8th time reading the Deathly Hallows, and I still managed to find stuff I had not found before. This is a big win. The example is like the peacock yin and yang thing I said before, and even Hedwig's death I had not noticed. Seamus Gorman himself told in his unpopular opinion video that he had noticed Hedwig died until the 3rd reread. J.K. Rowling hides but shows it openly that what she has to show to the audience. Yeah, in the past videos and reviews I've talked about the completion and development of some character arcs, and I think the Deathly Hallows does it better than every book. I mean, obviously it's the completion of almost every character arc, while some were left hanging, but some have to be left hanging. But the interesting thing is that we still get to explore new character arcs that is just started in this book. For example, we knew of these characters, but we had not explored their inner secrets and their character arcs, mainly Grigorovich and Griffook Creature. Creature story especially shook me a lot actually. It surprised me more than I would have thought it would, and it touched me a lot. And many people, including Seamus Gorman, have said that Creature has a better character arc than Dobby, and I kind of see why. Genuinely speaking, I would have been more sad if Creature had died instead of Dobby at the end, and it's because the backstory behind Regulus's locket and what he told to Harry and Hermione as they enter Grimmauld Place. It's a brilliant story. I mean, the fact that J.K. Rowling brings up and explores new character arcs even in the final stages of a series is just wonderful. Speaking of incomplete character arcs, we arrive at a character that we thought we had completed in the Hufflepuff Prince, but it did not. We arrive at the headmaster of Hogwarts, Albus Dumbledore, and again we thought it ended in the last book, but no. Turns out we had more to learn from and about Dumbledore in this book than I guess all of the other books combined. J.K. Rowling even states it plainly after Dumbledore's memorial in the Daily Prophet. Harry thinks about it. It has always been about Harry's past, Harry's future, Harry's plans. He had never asked Dumbledore. He had only asked Dumbledore one person question, and he thought Dumbledore had not answered that honestly too. It's about what does he see when he look in the mirror of Erised, and the Dumbledore character arc and the side story of for Dumbledore, Ariana Dumbledore, and Albus himself via Aretha Skeeter's book and her Daily Prophet columns was a huge risk in my opinion, and exploring a side story in your last book is a very, very large risk, and it paid off actually. And the Dumbledore's character arc well and truly only ends in the chapter The King's Cross. You can even argue that it did not end, but I think it's a fitting end to one of the best fictional characters I've ever read. And we often feel that mature people have no flaws, like kind, wise people have no flaws, but no. J.K. Rowling has showed that every person has their own flaws, and people can only correct their flaws. And we often also act like people who have passed are like saints, and it's actually not the case. Many people are like saints, but there are some people, who have been glorified after their death. Brilliant message from Rowling's perspective. Yeah, just like the Goblet of Fire, the only slight complaint I have is about the title of the book. The book, of course, is called Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And while the Deathly Hallows is a great thing to build a magical story on, it's a great concept, and you have been building it from the first book onward with the introduction of the invisibility cloak. I don't think it deserves to be on the cover of the book, and it was given a little too much importance. I think it should not overshadow the Horcruxes and the hunt that was done for acquiring all the Horcruxes. I don't think it should overshadow that. It was given a little too much importance, and I would have not minded if J.K. Rowling changed the title. This title is good, and the storyline revolving around the Deathly Hallows is good, but little too much importance was given. Yeah, slight complaint, that's it. Other than that, this is as fine as Harry Potter's writing gets, as it concerns me, but nothing other than that. It's a pretty flawless book. Yeah, now we come to the segment where we decide which house does this book belong to. I think it's clear. I think it's clearly written inside the book. And in my opinion, when Harry enters the room of requirement in Hogwarts through the secret tunnel in Hogshead, he notices the three houses' flags laden and hoisted in the room of requirement. They are the flags of Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor. And I think precisely the flag of Slytherin was absent though. And I think precisely these are the houses that represent this book, because this book ultimately shows the defeat of Slytherin and the rise and victory of these three houses. So I don't think Slytherin should represent this book in any way, because it's the defeat of Slytherin, and I genuinely think that all the other houses represent this book very well, since there are three houses, three main characters, and it bodes very well with the theme. We started at the beginning, and I think we are giving this fitting ending by ending this review at the epilogue of the book, that is at King's Cross Station. And some people were against the epilogue, and I still see some people who are against the epilogue. I don't think it's such a good idea to hang a book in the middle of a war with mixed feelings, but the epilogue ends the series on a happy note, and I think it's a perfect way to end it. And the fact that Harry's and Ron's kids departing from the same place where they started their magical journey indicates life and Harry Potter as a whole series has come a full circle, and I don't think any other ending could have been as satisfying as this. And yeah, that's my opinion. So we are ending the video here, and if you'd like this video, don't forget to give a like. If you are not subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon for receiving all notifications. And I'll see you soon with the tier list video where I rank all of these books. So till then, goodbye.